YouTube, welcome back to another video. And today I will be talking about King's mentality and realization. And today's video is actually derived from a conversation I had with an elderly man a couple weeks ago in the park. And these days I kind of figure out I barely want to hang out with people of my same age or have a reasonable conversation with people of my same age. Not to say I'm better than them, but oftentimes people of my same age want to talk about girls, sport, and celebrities. And right now, at this point of my life, I just believe that is like more of like gossip. Instead of gossiping, I could actually have more time in focusing on me or in actually gaining wisdom, attaining wisdom and knowledge from people who know more than me. Because I believe we are all here to learn. I don't know anything. I consider myself, I don't know anything. And whatever I learn in my world, my job or my duty right now is to actually bring it to my audience on YouTube. So, if you're not aware, so you could be aware, you could learn something because every day is a learning for me. And I want to believe for my audience as well. But back to the conversation I was having with this elderly man. To cut the story short, we were just having this chat and I told him all men are kings. This man, for some reason, just laughed and said, Elijah, if all men are kings, where is the crown and where is the throne? And this actually made today's video that not all men really realize that they are kings. I think there's a song by J. Cole saying all men are kings, but first off, king of himself first. So you have to be king of yourself first and be humble so you could actually represent to be a good king as well. And I'm just going to tell you, number one thing I know for a fact that I realize that all men are king is the fact that you have to be able to actually, think for yourself. Your head is the crown. That's why society feed you with lies all the time. Society kind of distract you. They don't want you to think for yourself. Your head is the crown. And the tone? The tone is you there on a daily basis having to rule over your life is the tone. It's a spiritual word. It's not the crown or the tone you see in movies. I'm African. I see kings all the time when they are ruling, but I'm talking about spiritual crown and spiritual tone. Your head is the crown and your life, you ruling over your life is the tone. I'm just going to go into the realization for people who do not realize this. And for people who realize this, just ride along. Oftentimes, number one, oftentimes you're not your thoughts. We all human have good thoughts and bad thoughts. Just consider your thought as an ocean wave coming and going, coming and going. Consider your thought as an ocean wave. And the mission on this earth is to actually have more good thoughts than bad thoughts. Now, you can never get rid of the bad thoughts, but you can actually silence that bad thoughts and have more of good thought over time. Because society has already brainwashed us, but for you to actually do this, you have to practice it on a daily basis. You want to actually practice more of good thoughts than negative thoughts. And the Bible always said in a verse, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You want to stay busy. You want to stay active. You want to exercise your brain. You want to actually have more of good thoughts than bad thoughts. Oftentimes, you want to silence that bad thought and consider it as an ocean wave. Your thoughts are going to come. If it's a good thing that you like, enjoy it. Sometimes, there's a thought that comes into my mind and I kind of enjoyed it and I just laugh. I laugh all by myself. Some people might say it's weird, but this is just one thing I embrace myself. I got to realize one thing that I have good thought and I have bad thought, just like an ocean wave. If it's something you like, embrace it, enjoy it. But if it's something you don't like, just dismiss it. Another thought is still coming in. You have to be able to actually control your thoughts. You can't control it, you can't control it, but you can actually make use of what you want to make use and let go of what you don't want to make use. That is how that is how you realize king's mentality. That is how you realize you're a king. You being able to actually, know that, okay, this thought is coming in. I want to actually take it or I want to let go of it. So number two over here, I put down emotional intelligence. And this is one thing I learned myself from Stoicism. Stoicism, I think there's a philosopher that made this quote that say, men are not disturbed by things, but the way he views them. Words do not hurt you. Words, the word that we speak, do not hurt you. Although the Bible says there's power, or there's the power of life and death lies in the tongue, it lies in your mouth. But I'll still tell you, words do not really hurt us. It's just the way you actually see, you interpret them. That's what is actually getting you angry. That's what making you on your feeling. And it's crazy these days that many men are often in their feelings than becoming a man. I'm not gonna say men, kill the feeling. We are all human. We have feminine and masculine energy. Embrace the feeling, but do not act on impulse. Okay, that guy says something to me, I don't like it. Yeah, walk away. Let go of it. Just move on. Words do not hurt you. Just walk away. We have that feeling. I'm not going to disregard that, but the power to have emotional intelligence. And Stoicism say we suffer more in imagination than in reality. We imagine this person say this to me. We already imagine, interpret it in our head. We already have that range in your mind, then boom. So as a man, for you to have king's mentality, it is very important for you to practice emotional intelligence. And I'll tell you this, YouTube, narcissists feed off your energy. Because with a narcissist will always want to win every battle every time. A narcissist will never say, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's one of the hardest things for a narcissist to say. But so that's why I'm going to say practice emotional intelligence. There are people who you give your energy to, and there are some people, you don't deserve my energy, I'm walking away. You have to practice this emotional intelligence. There are some things that you put your time and attention to, and there are some things you put your time and attention to, they are not giving back the same energy, you just walk away. You have to practice that emotional intelligence. Control your emotion, or else your emotion will control you. And if your emotions start controlling you, you're just going to be running like an autopilot. And you don't want to run like an autopilot. You will never have a king's mentality if you're running on autopilot. And lastly, over here, I put it as be conscious of what you eat. And Steve Jobs said this, better than me. In his dying bed, he said, eat your food as medicine, otherwise you eat your medicine as food. And it's crazy these days. I see a young you see a young man, 30 or in their late 30s, cancer, diabetes. This really breaks my heart, seeing our young men actually falling sick, not because they are not paying attention of what they are eating. I believe the food that the society is giving us, the fast food is actually killing us instead of making us grow. It's not making us grow physically. It's not making us grow mentally as well. I'll say 70% of how I look today, or whatever fitness influencer you follow, of how they look today is based on their diet, how they are able to actually eat clean, be conscious of what they eat. And I'll now tell you this as well, mentally as well. The food you eat affects your brain mentally. There are some researchers, there are some doctors saying reduce your cholesterol. And you need your cholesterol for your brain to function well. I will tell you, do not let society drift you left and right. Be grounded in what you actually believe in. Be grounded in yourself. That is how you have a king's mentality. Realize that you have a king's mentality. And I will talk about spirituality as well. When I talk about spirituality, food, I'm not talking about chicken or steak. I'm not talking about rice or beans. I'm talking about you having a belief, something that you stand on, something that you believe in. And oftentimes with religious people, I realize we all religious actually have one greater thing that we talk about, which is God. Some people say Allah, some people say God, some people call him Yahweh, some people call him different kind of name, but we know that he is the creator of universe, and you have to connect to that source directly. And you have the power within you to connect to that source directly. And once you connect to that source directly, you will realize more than what society is telling you. So with this point of mind, maybe there's more, or maybe this is it to it, but this is all I've got for you, my audience. You have to practice, you have to know oftentimes you are not your thoughts. You have to practice emotional intelligence. You have to be cautious of what you eat. And if you are in the early stage, I want to tell you, this is going to be hard and this is going to be real difficult, but consistency and discipline, I've said it before, leads to results.